What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemon, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm gonna pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
Announcement from Benjamin C. Steele talking to you about wearing a mask. Not this one, but this one. With everything going on right now with this pandemic, you need to wear a mask. My mask is for your safety. Your mask is for mine. I don't care what your uncles, brothers, best friends, mailman's roommate from college put on social media. Chances are they didn't think it through, and there's a very better than average chance that they're an idiot. So when you go outside, you put on your little mask over your face, put the little straps around your ears, and we're all going to be a lot safer. This is 18.
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Just Pro Wrestling News Podcast. No filler, no pop-ups. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back.
We're gonna go partying, baby. We're gonna go party like it's 1351 BC, baby. Woo! That's right, 1351 Egyptian style. No. So come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. We got party. Come on, break it down, baby.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, talking professionalized wrestling. I am Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I am excited to join all of you on the internets all across the Mayhem Nation. We got a great crew with us here this evening. First of all, we got from, I almost said your old town, in Beacon, New York. You've moved like 4 times since you've been on this show, I'm realizing now. He is the only Mayhemmer with the future endeavored letter from WWE and the only Mayhemmer who has a wedding reception this week. He is Mad Mike.
That's true. Yeah, it's this microphone is hanging out for dear life.
It
So
very is.
Apologies in advance for any potential technical difficulties.
This is the original Mad Mike microphone. The original.
I'm gonna have to get a new headset.
The original Mad microphone. So please bear with us in our audio issues with him. He might be moving it, fumbling it. The audio is going to get better and worse as it drops to his shirt and starts making scratchy sounds like it did last night on the Monday show. But we're going to sort through this, okay? And
I'm gonna try and stay as perfectly still as possible, so don't get me riled up.
And I'm going to see about giving him a headset. Are you worried about me tonight? Are you?
Yeah.
Are you
Sorry,
worried
I'm
about-
always worried about you.
Are you? I mean, you and Matt almost came to internet blows last night, and no, I've been having a completely normal day. But we also have back with us 2 days in a row. Holy crap! Ronnie Starks is with us. He's getting all this in before he goes to Florida for an extended period of time here. Apparently, Ronnie, how you doing?
I'm good. It's me. It's RONNIE, and I'm the grizzled vet of indie wrestling, baby.
Wow.
Former grizzled vet, whatever. Former, current. I don't know. Am I retired right now? Yeah.
I don't. Am I retired right now? We need to book you on one more.
What
wrestling
is
show.
questions Terry Funk asks himself?
Forever.
Yes.
Forever. Forever.
Oh boy! And also joining us, you saw the video or heard the video at the top of the show from a little bit ago at RWA. We had a long time bookings here with Tony Kincaid to come on and talk about the RWA show coming up. But as you can see, he was dragged off by the Rev Ron Hunt and Chris Taylor for a celebration partiness, and we have not seen him since, including checking in for the show tonight. But that's okay. We have Doc Daugherty of RWA joining us here tonight. Doc, how you doing at the last minute? Thank you for hopping on.
Not a problem. It's an honor to be here. You know, I've always wanted to get on the show and stuff, and you know, it's really, really exciting. I'm very excited to talk about RWA this Saturday. We got hell of some matches, and again, Tony Kincaid is missing. It's been insane. He wasn't there at the last RWA show, and I was told by my friends I'm legally obligated not to talk about what is really happening with him.
Okay. Do we think he's going to show up this week or for work or not? Or is he like the Hangman Page that we need to send him? Like, is he using all of his PTO days with the RWA?
First of all, I don't really want to compare him to Hangman Page at all. Just that's happening. Sorry.
I know it's a stretch, but
definitely comparing Toys R Us to Gabriel's. But what I was going to say is say this and say this only. I feel that, you know, with what happened, sometimes I try to tell Tony before they drug him off, as you all saw, against his own will. I'm really, really worried about him. Believe it or not, as bad as he treats me, I am worried about Tony Kincaid. One of the things I will say is this. When I go out with Chris Taylor, and you know I've been on many shenanigans with that man.
Yes.
Offer to drive. That's way they don't feed you alcohol. I didn't get to tell him that. I accidentally forgot to tell him that when they took him away.
Right. So
my bad.
And bear with us if you're joining us here on video. And we're having some very interesting bandwidth issues with you, and he keeps shrinking on the screen. So if you're seeing that happening, that's a Zoom thing that's happening out there.
We're just podcasting from the quantum realm. That's
yes.
My
Now,
apologies.
I have a question about Kincaid. Is this a put the lotion on the skin or you get the hose again situation? Is he locked in a basement somewhere?
I have two best friends that are also involved in this, and I kind of want to, keep their records clean.
Okay.
So at least with Rev there, if anything really serious happens, all they need is also an old priest.
They just have to exorcise the demons, man. That's all.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got a point there too. Exercise the demons.
Yeah.
Or awaken the demons if you've ever party with Chris Taylor and lasted till the morning.
So
I did not, unfortunately.
Without confirmation.
My Valentine wrote a song about it.
Without confirmation, we'll leave it to the chat room to wildly speculate, because we're a wrestling podcast and that's what we do, about what has happened to Tony Kincaid in his adventures with Mr. Taylor and Mr. the Rev Ron Hunt.
I'm sure he's fine.
I'm sure he's more than fine.
It'll be fine.
If you don't remember the bad times, were there really bad times? But anyways, we're talking about the good times, and that's including emailing us at that email address.
Good times.
Good
Oh,
times.
no, wait, hold on.
What?
It's spooky month. Good times. Good times.
Oh, you're doing the Thriller. I see. Okay.
Yes.
All right. You're getting out of frame a little bit, so yeah. I'm like, why is he reaching? Like, he's reaching for the ceiling, but he's not using both hands, so it's not raising the roof.
kind of
no,
did like
so,
the T-Rex thing going, like
yeah,
you gotta go on
yeah.
whenever you got to be in cadence. So
Yeah.
Well,
there
yeah,
you go,
but
there
I
you
mean,
go.
I also didn't want to mess up my microphone. So
There's
I
only
didn't
so
wanna go.
there's don't want to mess it up, want to knock
There's a
anything
lot
off the table,
happening
don't want to offend the cat. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. That's a gif. I'm just saw it on the replay there of Doc's T-Rex. So, but anyways, that and 412-206 WMS0 is the voicemail, and actually, that's interesting. Let me we'll hold on to that for a second. We might have something from that. Also, you can hit us up WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Hit us up on the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook page and group. A lot of great discussion happening over there. And if you don't want to do that, and we've shared the links on our social media, or even just add us, we should link it somewhere. We do have a Discord server if you don't like Facebook, have recently deleted your Facebook, or Facebook isn't down at the moment, which is happening more and more. So we got alternatives, guys. So yeah, check out the Wrestling Mayhem Show Discord server for that. This is the wrong show notes. Why'd I open the Awesome Cast? You can also please subscribe to us on your favorite podcast provider, and also you have the options of hitting up the Wrestling Mayhem Show super feed, so you get all of the Mayhem Show wrestling action. And, of course, the Sorgatron Master Feed that gets all of the great shows here on the network. And also, just a side reminder, please subscribe independently, because I don't want to blow up anybody else's feed with a daily show. Just Pro Wrestling News podcast is our spinoff with the great Matt Carlin's giving you your news in 5 minutes or less. You heard it at the top of the show. Yeah, I don't have to say it. We already talked about it at the top of the show. That's right. Also, thank you to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Thank you to our current supporters at the fan of the show level. Bo Diggity! Woo! Woo! Is that better? Is that more Halloween-y?
He's a ghost.
It's spoopy season.
As well
He's
as
Boo Diggity.
Ed Burke and Team Hammer Fist, our buddy down in Florida. And, of course, at the Poppy Club level, Dave Ponder, OccupyProWrestling.com out there on the West Coast, and Bobby FJ Town. At the Pizza Club level, our friends Doc Remedy, Kyle Turner, and the Riz. And at their manager level, Bradley. Don't let Ray Lynn get me, brothers. Don't know.
The King of Butts.
Did you see?
I really wish I would have been there for that. I just saw the video on that, and like, it just bummed me out.
So what happened? So Bradley had there was a Ray Lynn had just lost a match to one Nikita
Knight.
Nikita Knight, thank you.
Top prospect in Rise right now. She's amazing worker. She also gave Thunder Rosa one hell of a match in AEW Dark.
It's pretty amazing, because just like Lady Frost's first official wrestling match was on Monday Night Raw, she and I think against Asuka, right? Nikita's first official match was on AEW Dark. Like, this was her promotion. This was her home promotion debut this past weekend, and she's already booked on a bunch of promotions. So I don't know if maybe you guys saw it going around, but just a few weeks or months ago over the summer, Leigh Moriarty had shared they were working out, I think, down at the Stronghold, and she was doing some of this pop-up spin moves, kind of stuff, like a great sequence of moves. And I think already everybody wanted to book her. And one, I don't think she was of legal age yet to wrestle. But allowed to in training, I believe. I don't quote me on that, but I don't want to get anybody in trouble just in case. But she wasn't done with training to even book a match at that point, and she was going to get an inquiry. So, but I think she was a cheerleader in high school or something, and just incredible.
Was that the gift that Leigh sent out?
Yeah, that was the one that where
okay, I thought so. I'm like,
where,
that sounds
where she kind of like where he pops her up and she kind of does a spin move and comes down into a thing. Yeah, that was her.
Okay,
that was.
Okay,
her.
I wanted to make sure.
If you don't mind me chiming in real quick, her work ethic is amazing. Like, I've never, like, this girl shows up for different shows. She's been at 2PW even, like, helping with the ring and doing stuff for them too. Taking down the ring at Rise. When I met her, she wasn't working just yet, but she was still, doing that. And her work ethic, just her training, just everything she does about her is just awesome. And like, it sucks that I had to miss, that awesome event, because I really wanted to be there for Rise. I do backstage reporting for them. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, I was diagnosed with COVID-19.
Oh yeah. Oh, you were part of that group. Yeah, I got her.
No, not that group.
Oh, it wasn't from that group?
I was not that group. Believe it or not, I found out it's either a client that I see because I do therapy as my shoot job. As a mental health therapist, I either got it there or I ended up, believe it or not, the Chinese restaurant out here, the local Chinese restaurant, they're closed down because they had COVID. And I remember eating Chinese that Monday.
That's it.
No, that sucks.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't that group that you're thinking of. No.
All right.
But I will say this, like I said, Nikita Knight is one to watch out for. I know she's skyrocketing already in this business, and she just started. I think we're gonna see some great things from her.
You're seeing a little bit there if you're catching us on the video feed. This is actually from a clip from the match that's actually going to be going out later this week on the YouTube page for IndieWrestling.us. But that's part of the Ryse Wrestling October show that is available over there on a YouTube membership on the Indie Wrestling Network and such too, with Rayla and some good. Yeah, no, she looks absolutely solid. I can't believe that she's like that's a. Her second match, I think it is officially.
That's crazy.
So, in front of a crowd, like she's great, right?
Yeah, she's bred for it, man.
Yeah, and she's doing like a warrior, like a warrior goddess kind of thing, right? Like
it definitely looks Amazonian.
Yeah, like an Amazon warrior kind of situation there. So, no, that's great. It is good that she's been around and everything. So, but we're talking about it. So yeah, Raylan beats her, or Raylan gets beat. And Brad. So I walked into this venue, and it's my first time working in this venue. They've been there a few times, and just scheduling, I just never was really able to get there and really be a part of it. So actually, Chachi's been heading in, and he's been recovering from COVID. So I took over this show, right? So I walk in, and I was like, okay, I need a chair, and I pull a chair over. Wow, this got wheels, and I'm like, are they gonna use the chairs with wheels on? They're like office chairs, right? Like, are they going to use the one with wheels with the crowd? Like, and I'm thinking like nobody's used these before that I'm aware of because I've watched the shows, that we've been doing and putting out, and I was like, how has nobody done anything with these, right? And then lo and behold, of course, it takes Ray, Lynn, and Bradley to have something of a confrontation over here, and so she's flipping out and messing with Bradley and wheels him into the wall. So, and there's a little bit of that there for you guys on video. Of course, I shared this. This was the first thing I shared out of Twitter because I'm like, this is happening.
I've said this before, and I will say it. I will say it every time I see a clip of Bradley on this show. How did he become our Todd Chrisley?
He kind of is.
I don't know how it happened.
Oh man!
But
she chucked him into that wall.
He did, yeah.
It just is.
I'm just glad to see that Bradley's taking some bumps for the business.
Honestly, Bradley could have sold it a little bit more.
Oh,
I'm gonna say it.
So I cut it off. I cut it off. But after this happens and he's settling himself back in, there's a "you deserved it" chant from the crowd. But I didn't have.
Yeah, he definitely deserved it.
I mean, he did.
Seemed appropriate.
He's Bradley.
But that was right. I didn't mean to talk indie wrestling here in the first segment, but I don't know why I'm apologizing for that. But but it's worthwhile.
Sorg, so this is breaking news. They just aired a vignette for Halloween Havoc.
Mm-hmm.
The voice of Elias was on the vignette.
The voice of Elias? Is Elias going to NXT?
I believe so.
Well, NXT, you just brought me back. If that's true.
Because it was just a clip of someone using a shovel and said, "I buried something so I can rise again."
So I wonder what they're going to do with him because, of course, they got rid of the guitar gimmick. I wonder what route. Are we going to see the Heavy Metal Jesus back?
It's very possible. I can see it.
Nobody except Pittsburgh's seen Heavy Metal Jesus. That's why I'm excited. By the way, Heavy Metal Jesus available on Indie Wrestling Network.
I mean, even if he just brings back the guitar gimmick, like the
original Drifter.
Yeah, in NXT, he's got so many people to work with.
Oh yeah, I think it'd be great. I don't know that he really needed the reinvention. I thought he was doing fantastic.
Well, he needed to be away from Jackson Riker.
Yeah, I know. He needed to be,
and all that entails.
Yeah, he needed to be separated from a problematic individual that just really kind of brought him down. But but it shows up tomorrow. Over under 50% of AEW shows up. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, we'll get to that in a moment there, Alex. But yeah. So what else is happening on NXT? Like I'm hearing the new class is supposed to be really good, and it's really picked up over the last couple of weeks.
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker, yeah.
I'm in.
Is that the Steiner guy? Like the Steiner kid?
Yes.
Okay.
Kid,
He looks like Rick and wrestles like Scott.
Oh man. Okay, you got my attention.
He's phenomenal in the ring so far. I mean, I've seen nothing but good things with this guy. He's gonna be a new star. I just hope that they don't do what they like to do, take somebody and shove them down people's throats. Then they cause what happened with Roman. Thank God Roman's doing the best work he's done in my opinion. He's done ever in this business. But what I'm trying to say is, with Braun Breaker, I just hope they just don't go full throttle, because when Vince does that, look what happens.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, obviously, this is kind of the rebuilding. NXT kind of full into developmental, redevelopmental. So here's my concern, and not having watched the last couple of weeks since the reboot episode. Because it feels like it's going full on developmental, right? I'm concerned that's going. I don't know if that's going to work on USA Network, or maybe just the expectations have been lowered. I don't know. Maybe they're like anything's better than what's happening.
It's full on developmental, but they do have veteran talent at the head. Because Johnny's still there.
Right.
Tommaso's still there. Santos is still there. EO is still there. Like, that's a good base. And if Joe is able to work again, and if Elias is coming, I mean, there you go. That's all you need to lead some developmental talent
into a new generation. And
besides, NXT should have always been developmental talent.
It did kind of it grew into its own brand and said, okay, these are our, like, they created their own stars that were NXT stars.
Yeah, because think about it, we saw like the growth of Bayley, Sasha, Charlotte, and
Becky.
Don't know why I couldn't think of Becky, but we saw all of them grow before our very eyes on NXT. Same with like Alexa and Asuka. Like I mean, granted, Asuka, was an indie wrestler beforehand, but like we've seen all of them evolve. Like Nikki Cross, like granted, she did a lot of stuff in the indies, but if you look at Nikki Cross's first appearance in Sanity and then look at Nikki ASH now, like people may not like the gimmick, but you can tell there's been growth and evolution. Like
as a wrestler, as a performer, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Undeniable. Absolutely. No, and that was always the cool thing, because they brought in that thing of, I often have that conversation with AEW, is they bringing in all the things that we love about the indies just on a bigger stage, and I feel like you brought in that element of, what do you like about the indies? You're watching somebody like, I remember when Elias was this guy. Actually, I just watched the clip randomly the other day of a young, not even wrestled yet Elias that got pulled in the ring and slapped the crap out of John McChesney when nobody knew who this guy was. He wasn't even a wrestler yet. He was just the dude that was like helping with security in the ring building, right?
So you could say he was a drifter?
He was, he just kind of drifted in. He wasn't a front man yet. He wasn't a heavy metal Jesus. He wasn't a drifter. He wasn't walking with anybody yet. I
was there for that.
Of course you were. Yeah, it was Super Indy 7. So
yeah, I was there.
I was doing a test. For
Elias getting beat up, Ronnie in the back.
No, I was doing a test at Rise for like some stream. I'm testing a streamer while we were there. We didn't stream the show, but we did a private stream just to make sure the tech would work in the building. And I was like, okay, so something dropped out. I need to make sure something's running and not just a ring where nobody was walking around. So I was like, okay, what's on this laptop? And this random laptop I just used to switch the show. there was for some reason a copy of Super Indy 7 on it. So I pulled it up, and then I was like, they're like somebody walked by. I was like, yeah, I just threw this on for a thing, and we're like, oh yeah, we're watching it in the back, and I was like, yeah, I turned to a guy and said, hey, you want to watch this CJ Sensation facade match? You know, so and by the way, the main event for that is Davey Richards, Jerry Lynn. So
I mean, who'd they ever beat?
Who'd they ever beat? Well, I think Jerry Lynn beat Davey Richards that night. So spoiler alert, if you haven't seen a, you know, 13-year-old wrestling show. So,
well, Jerry Lynn was he wasn't the Super Day champion going in, I think.
No, was he? I thought he won. I thought he won it from it. Honestly, I thought he won it at the show. Because he was one of them. But yeah, anyways. So where were we going with that? We were talking about wrestling. NXT. Okay, so you're telling me NXT is worth a shot. I should give it a shot. I mean, I can go pull it up on the last couple episodes on Peacock and throw it up in the background. So I'm cool with that. I gotta finish GCW from Sunday too. So I don't know how far in the show are we? Okay, let's do a break. And we'll talk about the AEW Friday Skirmish a little bit more. We talked about it a bit on the show last night. It got a little heated, but there's new information about what's going to go on Friday while we're at Mad Mike's reception.
You know what this is?
What is this?
They're counter-programming my wedding.
They are counter-programming your wedding.
That's what they're doing.
Uh-oh. To be fair, a year or 2 years ago when you scheduled a Friday wedding, that was supposed to be a year ago, there were no wrestling shows on Friday night.
Yeah, see?
Like, I don't think SmackDown was debuting. SmackDown might have just been debuting, right?
Yeah.
So, and now all the wrestling is on Friday night.
Yeah.
See what you did?
Hey.
I'm sure your reception's going to be a nice draw.
We'll make sure.
Oh, yeah, it'll be a big draw.
Listen, we'll make sure there's.
I will say concessions will be a hell of a lot better.
That means you got to come out beforehand like Tony Khan and thank everybody, too.
And make sure you stomp your foot as you're talking to in excitement.
Please.
Like, this is the best wedding reception I have ever been to. Thanks for coming, everybody. Happy anniversary.
Listen. Tony Khan is all of us. Because if any of us, except for you, Doc, and you, Ronnie, you guys are professionals in the business. If any of us got in the ring and had a live mic and we're super excited to be there, we would be doing that same I don't know what to do with my hands thing that Tony does, right? Because he's a wrestling geek and he's like, I can't believe I'm here.
Maybe the first time.
Maybe the first time for 2 years.
Maybe the second time. But he should kind of know now.
I think Tony is the biggest self-made Make-A-Wish kid.
No, that would be Zack Ryder.
That's Zack Ryder. Yeah.
That's Zack Ryder.
Yeah. And I say this out of love, okay? I love Tony's enthusiasm.
Actually a Make-A-Wish kid.
What's that?
I have never seen somebody make their own title belts more than Zack Ryder.
There's that too. Yeah. I got to see the Internet Championship in person because Effie had it at Enjoy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like he brought it. I'm like, that's the damn Internet Championship. Yeah, it's great. And there's like name tags over the Zack Ryder stuff that just says Effie on it. It was great.
Of course.
Like,
that's fantastic.
Anyways, hey, do you like wrestling? Sure, we all do. And some of the stuff like we just talked about over at Indie Wrestling. Oh, did I just close that? Oh, no. There should be a graphic here, and it just went away, but we'll bring that up in a minute. At IndieWrestling.us, you can check out that Ryse show that we just talked about. You can check out the early career of one Elias, formerly known as Logan Shulo, of course. Shulo! That's what we used to do, because we were really excited about Logan Shulo, and then he got signed, and then we're like, no more Shulo! Sorry, I'm looking for a thing. And also we got the network, and also brand new, I want to start talking about this because some of you guys started subscribing to it. I was quietly building something of a new project that I didn't know if we were going to unveil or not, and I was wondering if anybody would have stumbled on it. So we do have the networking. It's got the most content, of course, $5.99 a month, 7-day trial. and it's got all of our back catalog, that we've been doing for the last several years on that network that we built over time. I think we have something like 400 hours. We're probably creeping on 500 hours now on that system at IndieWrestling.network, our link at IndieWrestling.us. But we also have now the last, I think, almost the entirety of our run of Rise and a good portion of RWA, at least the RWA 2PW shows for the last, since we came back in 2020, are up on YouTube. And if you look for YouTube memberships over there on the IndieWrestling.us YouTube page, you can go check out those shows for $4.99 a month as part of that. You get some special kind of chat perks and everything like that. And when we figure out our emojis for Twitch, we'll bring them over to that too for you guys. So you can check that out. $4.99 a month on the YouTube page, and you get the latest. And these go up when the other ones do. Typically, like, depending on what's going on, some of these shows go up almost right away on VOD. But the network the next day, whenever those go up for VOD for the Indie Wrestling Network, they will also appear simultaneously for members at the IndieWrestling.us YouTube channel. And yes, this is similar to if you've already been participating in the Impact Wrestling membership. I did, because I think, as we probably illustrated on the show, the Impact Wrestling app sucks, and And I literally paid for a month. I couldn't access it. So I went to their YouTube page. It's cheaper, and if you're familiar with YouTube, if you don't mind using YouTube, you already have a credit card in YouTube or Google accounts for something, it's real easy to do. And anywhere you have YouTube, any app on your smart TV or box or phone or whatever, or Chromecast or whatever you want to do, that makes all that stuff immediately accessible to you, all that content that we have up there for members, for all these groups. So go check that out. A new way for you to consume indie wrestling, support, and explore, and find some new favorites that could be the next ones you see on AEW Dark, or they become the next Lee Moriarty, who is featured on several of those shows, by the way, in that collection. So go check that out, IndieWrestling.us for everything, and then go to our YouTube page for the membership if you want to check out what is there. And thank you, everybody who is supporting through that. And one of those things that is featured is the Renegade Wrestling Alliance, and this is their third show back since lockdowns coming out this week, and this is Bloody Harvest.
Bloody Harvest. It's going to be a good one.
Featuring a costume contest. I'm going to miss the contest. I'm sad I'm missing the costume contest, because that's usually a pretty good time. But yes, there's going to be a costume contest there. There's going to be a pretty significant main event. And we're at RWA. If you haven't checked it out, again, you can check out clips and the shows over on the IndieWrestling.us. But I mean, in the last several months, you've had Brian Johnson vying for the RWA Championship against J-Rocc. You've had who else? Cody Deaner from Impact Wrestling has been on there. Of course, Crazy Steve is still a tag team champion. I believe does he return this week? I believe so, right?
I think so. Don't quote me on that, because there was a little bit mixed up with the dates.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna wait. Like, I'm being very, very careful on this one. I don't.
Okay, I think he might be November now. So
I knew
he's coming back
right now. Is Cody Deaner? Though Cody Deaner will be taking on Daniel Eads, the man.
Oh, really? Oh, that's fantastic.
That's going to be a hell of a match.
And Cody's a guy that we've had on the show like 10 years ago, and he's fantastic. Every time I run into him at a show, he's a great conversation and doing some great stuff there. And even the Violent by Design stuff has been really good with them too.
That's phenomenal. I mean, Eric Young is such. He's good on the mic. He's great in the ring, and I'm really excited for him to be back in Impact. I mean, when I first started watching like TNA, like I was a huge fan of Team Canada, and I was a huge fan of Eric Young. I used to have, believe it or not, do you remember that store? Was it called Stephen Barry's or something? It was up Century 3 Mall. It was huge.
Okay.
Like weird clothing. They used to sell the Team Canada jacket, and I had that for a long time.
Nice. So first of all, I mean, off time, of course, we were doing a lot of interesting digital content over lockdown and everything. But for you, Doc, like what, you're back 2 shows. How's that feel to be back? I know you work with many promotions, but RWA's been your home for 10 years, right?
Yes, and they gave gave me my first opportunity. Was,
Yeah.
in RWA.
And there was a recent conversation about, like, I think maybe last night on or off air, we talked about like Hammerstein Ballroom at JCW and talking about like what would be the Hammerstein Ballroom of like Pittsburgh. And the more I think about it, like I feel like the RWA Gymnasium is kind of or it might be the ECW arena of Pittsburgh area, because it's an old crappy rundown gym.
Perfect.
That has a crazy rabid audience. Nobody else has an audience. I've always said, nobody else has an audience like in Pittsburgh like RWA has, and it's like if you took the ECW arena and their fan base, put it in the country. That's what you get with RWA, right?
In a way, yeah.
I say that with love.
The fans are rabid, man.
I say that with love.
I mean, there's some of the greatest fans in the world. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, like every promotion I've been at has their different sets of fans, and they've been awesome. But like RWA has been, like I said, my home for
Oh, we lost your audio there. Uh-oh, we lost his audio. Is anybody else with me? Is anybody else with me?
Yeah.
Doc, where are you at?
I think it's the bandwidth.
It's the bandwidth thing again. Oh no!
Hello?
Bandwidth.
Is it me you're
we're
looking
back.
for?
We're back.
All right,
I'm
there
so
he
sorry
is. There
for
he
that.
is. No problem. Things happen.
Here, I thought I was gonna have the audio issue.
It's okay.
I know, and I'm sorry about that. It's just
It happens.
You got to
I
explain.
love Connellsville sometimes, man.
Yeah. You're out there. You're out in the middle of nowhere, right? So.
Yeah, I'm like right on a major highway, so sometimes it's hit or miss here. So I apologize to everybody out there.
It's all right. Okay, this is the Zoom effect, right? So, but anyways, yeah, you were talking about the audience and stuff. But what's been that vibe like since you came back? It feels like it was missed.
Oh, it's very missed. Yeah, you could definitely tell some of the people like they've been gearing and just pretty much salivating on booing some of these guys. The poor Jordan, Jordan Styles, he gets it real bad. They don't show him much love. Who else? JDL's another one. JDL gets, I mean, he has a fan base though too. What's awesome about him is it's 50-50 split. Like you have some fans that are cheering, well, and then you have other ones like, shut up, shut the song off, God, please, because that's his whole theme music. Well. So.
Yeah, and no music to it. It's just that over and over again, right?
Yeah, that's all.
So,
it is.
Like Joe Girdner, well.
Yeah.
In a way, yeah, you could say that. There's actually fans that bring, each of them have a sign that says "well," and they lift it up as soon as the theme music. It's insane.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's a good time. Ronnie, you should come out to one, man. I haven't seen you at RWA yet. I've seen you at 2PW. I've seen you at Ryse. I've not seen you at RWA yet. I'm not calling you out. I just want to see Boy Goat where I started. You know what I mean?
I'll come in November.
All right. That's what I like to hear. I know what else is going on this Saturday. I get it. Trust me, I get it.
There's nothing else. Oh yeah, Warrior Wrestling, but that's in Chicago. That's not a worry.
No.
You can catch it on pay-per-view afterward. That's fine. That's where I'll be. But and I'm sad I'm missing RWA for it. But work calls.
You gotta pay the bills.
Gotta pay the bills. And they were like, hey, we need somebody to film Bret Hart. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll film Bret Hart.
Oh, how dare you film Bret Hart? How dare you? That's okay. I know Emily's going to do a phenomenal job without you.
Yeah, you got Emily, you got Rob on the show.
Like she does at Eclipse. She's going to take the reins and just rock out with it. So
there you go. That's good. And of course, if you're not here in Pittsburgh, the show, of course, will be on VOD the few days after and all the platforms we talked about. But let's talk. So it's really interesting. Let's say there's a lot of Impact, the longer Ring of Honor, which actually really makes sense. I mean, you got the Rev, has got his connections over there, Ring of Honor. You're getting some good. There was a child in there. If you're wondering why there's a kiss and good night. So audio.
You know what I mean. Bodie always comes first, man. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No problem. But it's been really cool again. This was starting to happen before everything shut down. But there was a lot of big names starting to come through RWA. Red Velvet even showed up for a pre-show a couple of shows ago and things like that. Sergeant Slaughter showed up. I think was it right before or the year before where they had Teddy Long and D'Lo Brown for the show, right? I think that was 2019.
Both of those guys show up.
Yeah,
we've had Devon Dudley. We've had the Amazing Red, which he's just phenomenal in its own right. Sanjay Dutt was our RWA Cruiserweight champion for the longest time, and then of course he went on to do I think it's he's one of the trainers at NXT or something now, or
something? I think he's an agent or something.
Yeah, the agent. Pardon me.
Is he at NXT still? That?
Yeah, I think
so.
Really?
I've
I
seen
thought
him
he
break
left.
up a couple fights. You know,
okay.
whenever they all come out, I've seen him. I'm like, oh, look, there's Sanjay. Okay. So, yeah, but like I said, with the addition right now, like with O'Shea Edwards coming to RWA right now, I mean, it's blowing up again. We're excited, and I was kind of nervous because if you think about it, we were the last promotion to start shows out of everybody. Everybody was started before us, and I was like, come on. I was like telling Dr. Feelbad, I'm like, come on, Feelbad, let's get a step in here. Let's move. You know, we can only do this internet fantasy show for so long. Let's get this ball rolling. You know, so it took some time, but special thanks to the artist formerly known as Hentai. You know, giving him a good swift kick. We got started, and now things are just going great. I mean, you know, J-Rocc is on a roll right now, man. They're throwing people at him left and right. Cody Deaner, I mean, Brian Johnson, these two took him to his limit, to the end almost. I'm not gonna lie, I thought we were gonna have a new champ both times, and that's just within the match. But J-Rocc is just showing adversity. He's showing that true champion style was what we need. So I'm wondering what J-Rocc has planned against the big bad kaiju O'Shea Edwards.
J-Rocc's really interesting because I actually had a good conversation with him after that match with Brian Johnson, and he's like, can you believe how long it's been with down the road and stuff? And we're talking about like, yeah, man, like first time I saw you were teaming with Ray Rowe, now Eric of the Vikings over on WWE, he was teaming with Shane Taylor and stuff, and he's like, and he seriously over the last several years he's been in the best shape of his life, and he's turned in some freaking Mac classics with these guys. With Eads and big time Bill Collier last year before we went into COVID, of course. So rolling into that. So yeah, it's been really cool to see what's been going on over there.
Yeah, I mean, Bill Collier and Daniel Eads had such a great run. I mean, Bill Collier is one of the most favorite people I love to call in a match. Like it's unreal, and it's really cool when you're sitting in Pittsburgh, watching AEW, and your little kid, the kid to come in on the podcast again, my apologies, and literally went, Daddy, look, there's my friend Bill. Oh, I thought that was kind of cool. It was kind of cool just to see his eyes light up whenever Lee Moriarty was fighting, and Bill Collier and just all these local guys got out of, Andrew Palace, it was really cool. Katie Marquette, he went nuts when Katie come out. Like he was like cheering her on. And then when it happened, of course, he turned into Bradley for a minute and was like, stupid Jade.
We talk about it on the show.
Hysterically.
We had Mainstream Matt's son Mason interview Katie here on the show a couple months ago, right? So
I think I remember that. Yeah, it's like I said.
And they had great seats. Like when they're doing interviews in the ring, they were like right in the shots. Like that's where they were sitting. And it was his first AEW show. Well, it was first two. We went to both of those Pittsburgh shows, right? And saw Katie Arquette come out, and there was and I know you guys have heard this on the show, but this is for Doc. At first timers. And she's like, yay, it's Katie, I know her. And then Jade's music hits, and he goes, oh no. Because he knows what's about to happen. So,
I don't think I heard that before.
Did you hear that story? That's great.
That's
great. What's funny about that is, just to piggyback off of what you just said, me and Bodie were watching Cole Carter come out with Luther and Serpentico, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, Dad, it's Cole. It's Cole Carter. Because Cole and him are buddies. And when he sees Cole backstage like at Eclipse or...
Cole's great. By the way, Cole's great. Cole is growing on me.
Cole's an amazing dude. And Bodie just loves him, right? So Bodie sees this. And then here comes the Lucha Brothers and Pac. And it just, Bodie's eyes got like this big. And he goes, oh, he's dead. I started crying. I was like, I think Luther and Serpentico are the ones that are going to get beat up. And then when they walked out on him and left him three, he just looked at me and goes, I'm never going to see him again, am I? I lost it. And they did. They beat the shit out of him.
Oh, that's
pardon my language, but
that is amazing.
I laughed, and my son was just like, Daddy, will you message him and see if he's okay? I got it. And like we sent him pictures. She's like, send the pictures that you sent. Don't send the one where he's getting kicked in the chest though. I don't think he'll like that. I was like, all right. So it was some good stuff though. Like Bodie really showed his colors. It showed support of the local. He even cheered Leigh on, man.
That's
again,
great.
He loves Dante Martin too. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah,
to see
Dante's great. And that's the cool thing. And again, what I was talking about earlier about like, hey, bringing the vibe of the indies.
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally bringing the indies with them, right? So it's cool because you get that extra layer when you go to your local AEW show and seeing them week to week on you know Darks or even popping up on the main show every once in a while. But even it seems like some of these guys get fast tracked. Like the Danny Garcia thing just happened out of nowhere, and he's had matches with like every big star that comes in at this point, right?
I know.
Did he have like a four match span where it was like Punk, Suzuki, like Janela, and I forget the fourth, but it was just like that's a fucking wild spread of four.
Boy, and some of those were on the indies too, right? So
they really love him, or he really pissed some people off when he said Suzuki. I was like,
maybe the last one was like Archer. I forget who the last one was, but like
It's a picture of him at 205 Live just popped up on Twitter yesterday. I noticed. So they were like, man, did they miss out on this guy? Because I feel like, I don't know. I feel like he's a guy that would have done pretty well if they kind of lit a fire under him at NXT. But I get why he wouldn't be a dude that they would go with, But I mean, it's absolutely incredible to see those kinds of things happening, and how I feel like I don't go to a wrestling show that doesn't have somebody who. I feel like I don't go to a wrestling show that doesn't have somebody that's been signed by or been on these shows at this point. And not just AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact, or something like that. It feels like you can't go to a show and not trip over somebody that has been on your television lately. And I say that because I'm very clumsy at wrestling shows. Because I'm excited because I'm stomping my feet when I yell. But no, it's cool. But anyways, RWA. We got J-Rocc and Big Bad not Cujo.
Kaiju.
I did that last night. Not the Big Bad Cujo, although that also sounds badass.
Maybe he could be the Big Bad Cujo for Spooky Month.
There you go. I don't, and O'Shea, you do not have to take any advice from this show. But
the bad part is I'm the one that's gonna have to face it, not you three.
That's true too. Like, I'll be in Chicago.
I'm way far away from.
He's gonna be like, hey, you were on that show when they were calling me a Cujo, and you're gonna have to answer for it, Doc. So
thanks for taking the heat, brother.
Cujo is vicious.
Drink. I don't know if you guys know that or not. He has a tradition. Like, if the table's down beside the ring, he'll fight, and he'll get down, and he'll go, whew, I'm thirsty, and he'll grab my drink and just take it.
I didn't know you had a thing going on, huh?
Oh yeah, he takes my drink all the time. I like I'm gonna say something to him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You don't take my drink, and he'll just go and just walk, I was like, and I always I had this plan for when he came back to Eclipse at the time, because that's where the table's down by the ring.
Right. Well, he was a frequent out there at Eclipse in Altoona, right?
Yes, he was. He was. He did some amazing work out there.
Mm-hmm.
He worked Dennis Gregory. He worked this guy named DeJuan Neal. DeJuan O'Neal and him. It was like a week before Godzilla vs. Kong came out. And I was like, I don't gotta see this movie. I'm seeing it now, live action. They were amazing in that ring.
Are these on YouTube?
Like just giants.
Are these on YouTube for Eclipse or anything?
Yes, they are.
I'd love to see those. I'd love to see those.
Definitely check it out.
Mm-hmm. Eclipse Wrestling we're talking about. Go look it up.
Yeah, it's awesome promotion. Definitely check it out. I couldn't imagine another place that just treats you so good. It treats you like family when you walk in. And
absolutely, good vibes. I got to visit them. I think the February before COVID. And one, I know how half the roster there, so they, and that's the first time I think I saw Emily working and saw her working her butt off out there, and she's been doing a great job with us at Prospect Pro Wrestling, and it sounds like it's a really cool promotion and a really good vibe with everybody too. And I know a lot of those faces have been coming over to PW, and I think maybe even a couple over at RWA as well
exactly
there,
yeah.
right?
And
So
Rise 2, like
to,
it's they,
yeah.
you know, I mean you've seen the runway's been wreaking havoc all
Absolutely.
through the tag team divisions everywhere, especially like and even in Eclipse now and Rise, like they've been doing good. They actually took the 2 PW belts and brought them over to Eclipse and showed them off to everybody.
Yeah,
I had to stop AC Norway from stealing them. That was really fun, let me tell you.
Yeah, and Eclipse titles over at 2PW this past, and there's a lot of videos, and I know you're involved with some videos that are dropping on 2PW, and there's some really interesting situations there with between the two companies. So
it's fun being in the middle, let me tell you.
It's nice seeing companies interacting.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah, it's a fun time.
I mean, not in your position. You're kind of between the two, so yeah.
But if you look at it like this for a minute, if you look at like what Tony Khan's done with AEW, opening what they call the forbidden door, and now you're seeing some of the promotions in indies start to do that. I think that's great. I think that's awesome, and it's good to get everybody's product promoted, not just. Don't be one of the. I hate when people like say, well, my promotion's better than yours because mine has this and yours don't. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. You know what?
No.
Enjoy it, all of it. Enjoy all of it. And CM Punk was one of the first people at a press conference to say, someone asked about WWE and AEW. He said, watch all of it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Watch all of it. Enjoy this time right now. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan.
And I love that it's setting that example at that high level. There was like, we talked about it a little bit last night. I know it was a different tone, not to get back into that conversation about like they do mention everybody as a thing, right? That they exist. They don't ignore it, right? And that includes, mentioning the regionals, mentioning, I think Ring of Honor has gotten mentioned on AEW here and there, right? Because that's the history of these guys, and you can't ignore that, and it makes that holistic thing. People see that on the you don't want to say top rated, but most exciting new promotion happening right now at that level that everybody has eyes on, and that trickles down to Impact Wrestling, obviously, right, and New Japan, with their intermingling, and then now it just gives that more ammunition for the locals, the indies, to say, hey, this is a good idea, let's do a thing. I love that that's opened that door. And I feel like anybody that's so closed-doored to that is just going to get left behind in this excitement.
Exactly. Like, you got some promoters that'll pull talent from other promotions just because they disagree with what's going on. That's stupid. Mm-hmm. It's actually just wrong. It's not only just wrong towards the Pittsburgh indie scene as a whole. It's what I mean by that is it's just wrong towards that worker, because that worker's trying to branch out. That's the worker's brand. Marshall Gambino said it the best. Everybody has their brand.
Yep.
Let them do it. Let them promote. Let them get big. That's why like I was at RWA for the longest time just by myself, and I said to myself, you know what, I want to do more. And that's when Marshall gave me the opportunity to be the voice of 2PW. And I was so excited about that. I was honored that he put the ball in my hands and let me run with it. Mm-hmm. He's like a father to me, man. I seriously, like him and Derek both are like they got. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
Absolutely. There's you've heard me say there's the promotions I work with are because they're the promotions I want to work with and the people I want to work with, and they're two of the top ones for that, obviously. So locally that's how it goes. Even for the ones we travel for, it's just like if I go into Chicago and having a bad time, I'm not gonna stop going to Chicago. Like, full stop, right? Or Charleston or wherever else we end up with. That's just how it goes. And I don't think, how many times do you hear like wrestlers and talented announcers talking about how shitty it is working for a place? Ronnie, you're familiar with this conversation.
Oh yeah, I've worked with some really shitty fucking places.
Sorry. I love Ronnie Starks to know it. I just want to tell everybody over that. He's the goat. He's the goat of toys. He's the goat of comments. Oh my god!
But seriously, there's too many wrestling promotions in the area. But also, that also means you have no excuse to work for the shitty wrestling promotions in the area. So, there's other options. And I mean, my God, 2 promotions are debuting like just this weekend with Enjoy, and now with Wrestle Pit next month. Who knows? Wrestle Rex may come back as something else, even though the Rex doesn't exist anymore. I can't imagine Sam Adonis not coming back with something at this point. Between him and his dad in the area. And then, everybody we work for and a couple other promotions out there, it's just, within an hour of the city, like it's like, I'm telling everybody that has, again, a conversation some people on here have heard off air, but it was like, it's one of those like, hey, do you hate your job right now? Guess what? Everybody's hiring. And it's like, hi, do you hate where you're wrestling right now as a talent? Guess what? There's some options out there. And it's really interesting to see like how that kind of shakes out for things. And people going to other places and where they were kind of stuck in one place or leaving Pittsburgh and getting, amazing places, right? It's fantastic to see this thing happening. So
leaving places, I just left the business
for the
we
moment.
need you back though.
For the moment.
I would. I'd pop if you came out on commentary. I was like, oh my god,
I would
it's funny.
gladly come and do commentary with you in RWA.
All right, well,
God,
let me pull some strings. If Tony Kincaid's nowhere to be found, guess what? You might have a seat.
If
you
put
Church.
I
apologize now about Church, but that's okay.
If you get Church and Ronnie on a 3-man booth, I may have to burn the SD card with the content that comes out there. So.
Listen, I've made some lewd comments, but I know that with.
His audio. Oh no, he censored himself. Zoom, the internet censored him.
I think what Doc was saying was Ronnie Starks is a goddamn fucking professional, and he won't swear too goddamn fucking much.
And the greatest goddamn retired wrestler ever.
That's right. That is right.
Ass,
oh jeez. Oh jeez. Are you back with us, sir?
Cursing.
Is he still swearing up a storm over there? Is that what's happening? So
yep.
He's paused. Like he's.
I'm here. I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note,
that was vulgar. Even for this show.
I didn't even cuss. I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
You were. I was reading your lips, man.
No. I said this. I said with Church on one side and Ronnie Starks on another, I ain't got nothing to worry about. I'll just let you guys handle the bad stuff. I'll be all right. I'll get away with murder.
Sit back and watch the wrestling business burn down. So that's RWA. You can watch the fire at RWA's Bloody Harvest this Saturday if you're in town. Go down
Please
there.
Come
check
out,
it
man.
out.
It's going to be a great show, guys.
There it is. And of course, awesome. I know we got people even on the West Coast in the chat room here, and of course that will be available, or even just catch up on the other shows, like we said, over on the streaming VODs, YouTubes, however you'd like to check that out. Dude, it's. I have struggled. I say this many times on the show. I have struggled to capture the vibe of RWA in that crowd on video. There's Bodie. Hey, what's up, Bodie? Welcome to your podcast debut.
Say hi.
Say hello to the internet.
Starts. Remember I told you about the guy that finds all the toys before daddy? That's him. That's him. And that's Mike.
I'm the toy guy.
He's getting married Friday. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And like I said, hey, real quick, I just want you to look at the camera. Do you remember whenever Cole come out?
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. He broke the internet again.
Oh no.
I couldn't handle the cute child.
I believe the kid was saying, yes, Daddy, I do remember.
Yes, and he also cursed.
A lot right now.
What's that? Go ahead, sorry.
No, we lost you for a minute there, just as you were asking him the
guys,
question.
I am so sorry about this.
It's all right.
It's
all right. Hey,
it's hardwired or whatever next time.
Doc, we're going to let you go so you can go watch Chucky premiering. Okay, so
you're sick
it's
of
10 o'clock on the dot. We're gonna let you go, but thank you so much. RWA Bloody Harvest. Doc's gonna be there. Thank you so much for filling in for the MIA Tony Kincaid and Tony.
Yeah, prayers sent.
Yes, to Tony. Yes.
Ronnie, I'll call you next month.
Yeah, brother. So good.
I think you two are going to start a podcast now. In the meantime, you go check out. Hey, there's going to be a pizza adventure. Tina, I want you to listen especially to this because there's options. Okay. I don't know how this is going to translate, but
I heard pizza. I'm staying.
Hold on. You got to listen to this. You know what I'm doing tomorrow, guys? I'm going to order me some Slice on Broadway.
Oh, baby.
And you know what I'm going to do? I am going to deliver it to Mad Mike in upstate New York.
Are you really going to take him?
I'm doing it. You requested it. Mike, this is your wedding gift. So I'm pretty sure at this point.
Now, Slice on Broadway. Is that what you gave me and Tony when we came and you did some voiceover work for you at the
Likely,
office?
very likely, unless it was a Sunday night because they close early. And we won't tell you
Whatever
who
it
we
was, it
order
was
instead.
delicious.
I only order other pizza when they're closed, or I'm craving Jets, which is a weird, not good, healthy craving at all. But I didn't know Jets was a chain, so now I'm mad because I should have ordered some Slice on Broadway. But Slice on Broadway supporting us, Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza, New York City style. Yins are made, and the reason this is a big deal because like you really want to order a fresh pizza, put it in a car, and then we got to smell the damn thing for like 6 hours driving up there. So,
that's why you buy two.
Sorg,
I
have a thought. Why don't you put it in the trunk?
There is no trunk in the car we're riding. It's a hatchback situation.
I have an idea. There are I don't know, on eBay maybe, or even at pizza places, you can buy. Remember the old delivery things they used to carry the pizzas in? Why don't you get
the
one of
sleeves.
those?
Maybe
Yes.
can I when I order my pizza, I'd be like, can I rent one of your delivery carriers?
I bet you.
Do you have an
the
extra
way-
one?
The love that you have for Slice on Broadway and the love that they have for you, I bet you they would lend you one out. I bet you they have a bunch back here, and I bet you they'd give you one. If not, I would get a
100%
couple.
agree.
I'm gonna have to email Rico. I don't know.
Go
Who's gonna. I should have thought about this a week ago, or when I went in earlier today, for tonight's pie. Yeah.
Just bring it up tomorrow. Give him a call. Be like, hey,
We're like, hey,
this is Michael Sorg. You guys sponsor my show.
You
I
see,
need one of them boxes to put my box in for to take the whole way up to New York City.
You
Mike?
might want to work on the freezing.
Phrasing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I do is on purpose, Mike.
This
you
is,
should know this.
wait. This is
I
the
know.
moment of truth. This is the moment of truth. Mike, what's your order?
Uh-oh.
Extra cheese and extra pepperoni, Sorg.
I need
That's
to
it.
write that down. Actually, can you tweet that or text me
That's
that?
it.
Text me that
Tweet
so I remember it.
I will.
So,
I will.
There you go. Extra pepperoni, extra cheese. There you go. There you want a large? You want an extra large? You want a small, medium?
Sorg, you're the one that's the
If I get a medium, I have a case I think I can fit a medium in. So,
Okay.
and
All
this is
that
just for
all the
you,
way up to
right?
New York,
Are
though?
you
Oh,
are you
my.
sharing with us with the bride, by chance?
I need to see what our schedule is for tomorrow. 'Cause,
Okay.
we have things to do.
No,
Rehearsal is the rehearsal dinner. No, the rehearsal dinner would be what, Thursday?
Oh no, we're not doing one.
no.
not to-
This is just a reception, right? So
Yeah, it's just
yeah,
reception.
yeah. The wedding was a
Gotcha.
year ago.
Yeah.
When
Oh,
it's
okay,
when it's
gotcha.
supposed to be. So, so yeah, no, fantastic. So we're going to, we're going to do that. We're going to deliver some Slice on Broadway tomorrow. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be their first pizza preferred road trip. No? Yes? So I just need a reason to road trip
Drive to Seattle.
with Can I take pizza on a plane? Is that weird?
I don't think you can.
Will can I take
I
a
think
pizza? I can't take food, right?
No, unless you bought the pizza at the airport.
Well, there's no Slice on
I think
Broadway at
that's
the
the only
airport.
way.
Slice on Broadway, please have an airport location so we can smuggle you to other states.
I hate to tell you this, there might be a way to do it because I know somebody who lives in LA.
Mm-hmm.
They literally they love Yingling, and you can't get Yingling in Los Angeles. I know this for a fact. They took the bottles of Yingling, wrapped them up in like the socks and clothes, just literally wrapped them around, put them in their suitcase, and they were able to transport Yingling from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania
Right.
airport all the way to LAX.
I see what you're saying,
So
but
aluminum
that's-
foil,
that's a
saran wrap
big,
first.
it's a big
wrap
sock.
Yingling doesn't smell.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "What is this delicious pepperoni and cheese smell
Why?
coming out of your carry-on bag?"
Why
Desperate
does this
times come
plane?
from desperate measures, gentlemen.
Why does this plane smell like perfect pepperoni pizza?
Because it's Yins are made.
The perfect
Thank
pepperoni
you.
pizza for planes.
Did Yenzer put a pizza in the cockpit?
Yins will put a pizza in the cockpit.
Yeah, I was about to say cockpit. I realized I was in the wrong place, so that's where I end up. I lean over and look in the door. I'm like, is the pilot eating my pizza? No.
He's like, it's the perfect pepperoni pizza for pilots.
And its Yins are made.
Ooh. Ooh,
Talk
I
about
like
the
that.
Mile
I
High
like
Club.
that.
Mile High Club for pizza.
Anyways, Doc's missing his show.
It's okay.
So we will be right back after this.
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohema, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm going to pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
For a foot or an inch, yeah, I fight for you all. Is the truth and I'm in, yeah, I fight for referee.
The world of pro wrestling, it's bigger than ever. So how can you possibly keep up with everything that's happening? Just pro wrestling news. Don't fear falling behind. Give us just 5 minutes every morning and we'll catch you up on the biggest news in the world of pro wrestling. No filler, no rumors, no spoilers, no pop-ups. Just pro wrestling news. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app or tell your smart speaker to play the Just Pro Wrestling News podcast. Find out more. Go to justprowrestlingnews.com.
Savon's Legendary Podcast.
Works on Instagram TV Network on Roku.
Grind City. And you know this, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's like right place, right time, out of nowhere.
So what you saying?
Former tag team partner coming to save.
Tony Johnson, we saw him battle Edric earlier, but this is a 2-on-1 mugging.
We are back. It is the Wrestling Mayhem show. Doc is heading off to go watch his Chucky and put some duct tape on his internet.
I see, Ronnie, you're the GOAT.
Oh, he's still in here. He's still he's still hanging
Love
out.
you, brother.
Get out of here. Go watch Chucky. And also with us, Ronnie Starks is with us as well.
Hey, 2 nights in a row.
Woo! And also Mad Mike, the married Mad Mike, the married Mad Mike.
Yes. Sorg, I before we move on to our next segment, which I do have a what if for us if you want to do that this
Ooh.
week. I do want to send congratulations out to Bobby F. J.
Oh.
He ended my undefeated streak.
No.
In fantasy football.
Oh no.
It's okay. It's all right. I'm still in first place.
Okay.
I'm still in first place, so it's all good. And Chad's in fourth. So I'm excited about that.
So I have a special Patreon related announcement actually that actually involves one Bobby FJ Town.
Oh.
And involved DJ Lunchbox, if you remember who that guy is. I finally it's been a while. I finally figured out how to post. So we did this No Holds Barred commentary track like years ago. Mm-hmm. And I finally got it together like over lockdown or before. It's been sitting, and then I got it set up. I'm like, cool, let's put this out. And then I couldn't put it anywhere because of copyrights, because there's too much of the movie came through the track and I can't separate it, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I did figure out a place to put it. And you Patreon supporters will be getting an email on Friday of this week.
Oh man.
And you will have and I think this was for like Mayhem Show 500, 400, something like that.
Yeah, you guys rented a theater.
We rented a theater. Nobody showed up. Well, two people. Spoon and Dutters showed up.
Yeah, that's all you need.
It's a big theater for 5.
That's a party.
That was a big theater for 5 people. But anyways, so there was that. And they're new owners, and I don't think I really care for them, so that's why we haven't done it again. Also 2 people showed up. But anyways, so this has been lost to time, partly because I just tried to forget the fact that I paid for a theater that had nobody in it. And now on Patreon, you will be able to hear and see this and sync it up with your copy of No Holds Barred, because I know we all own it. Actually, it's probably streaming somewhere, like Prime Video or something. And you're going to get the commentary track for No Holds Barred. And I started thinking about it a little. I started using my headpiece a little bit, Mike, and we need to talk about this a little bit, but you keep saying you want to do these watch-alongs.
I do.
And the problem with watch-alongs is it's hard to kind of do the thing, and maybe there's some bleed over, and you get caught up in the copyright, ID kind of situation, right? And I realize, thanks to Patreon and some other things, we can do that. I mean, it's kind of a copyright gray area that I think we are legally allowed to do in a fair use kind of situation. And I think if we are to do, let's say, a watch along Escape the Undertaker special or something like that, we can do this, and we can provide it to you on Patreon.
Yes.
And we can't do YouTube for reasons.
That's fine.
But I think Patreon, we can certainly do this.
Well,
and that's
really fun.
And I would love to hear your responses on Patreon, and see if we get you guys watching it, listening to it, however you'd like to, and content like that I think is going to be what we do on Patreon now.
So if people like this, we should do a monthly poll on Patreon
of movies,
movies, pay-per-views, whatever.
Okay.
Episodes of like the Babysitters Club. I don't know,
because we did some of these.
We can do anything.
We did some of these on YouTube for wrestling shows and matches, and the problem is with the way we label them, they come up search. People come up with them and get mad. It's not the match.
Hey, but you know what?
And then we just get a bunch of angry comments.
That video of us doing a watch along for The Rock's debut is still one of our most highest rated.
It is, because everybody thinks they're about to tune into The Rock's debut.
Yeah,
and it's just a couple of yahoos.
Technically they are.
It's just a couple. It's just a couple of yahoos talking about watching The Rock's debut. So, I mean,
that's on their fault. If they don't understand what a watch party is,
just once you get into it, if you don't read the label and not maybe on the phone and it gets cut off. It says debut of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson ... and that's where it says watch along. So
no, it says WMS watch along.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm not sure. Also, I put a picture from the match in it, so that doesn't help either. So
well, it doesn't hurt.
It's all about the clicks, man.
It's all about the clicks. Absolutely. Oh boy, we're definitely not making that YouTube bank, but But anyways,
Patreon thing sounds like fun though.
Yeah, and I think we'll have a little more flexibility, so we don't have to worry about like, oh, maybe YouTube's not gonna like this and strike our account. Oh no, you know. So, anyways, what was I preaching earlier? Definitely.
I want us to watch Ready to Rumble. Like
I'm loving. You know
yes, I want to do Ready to Rumble.
I am loving these comments in the chat room that I'm just reading out of context because I don't think I caught them like when it was happening. Definitely not self-made, but daddy made. I'm not sure. Are we talking about the pizza at that point?
No, that was directed at Tony Khan.
Oh, okay.
It's not self-made.
Oh, okay.
It was your
daddy made. Oh, yeah, I got it.
Although technically all of us are daddy made. Technically,
and mommy made.
But yeah, Sorg, it says WMS Watch Party, the debut of The Rock. So I mean, that's on them.
If they can't read, that's their problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, listen. There's a reason don't read the comments because I'm just like. Sometimes I read the comments on some of the stuff that we post across some of these channels and be like, "Oh, what is this audience? And am I really serving the greater good here?"
So, now I'm looking at the comments now.
Oh no!
I need to look.
Oh no!
Who would watch this? You did.
At least I don't have to comment. No. I'm more worried about the comments that I get on. I'm worried about
who would watch this.
Yeah.
You did. Dumbass.
Engagement. That's what we call engagement. You know what, Mike? Can you do me a favor? Can you go to YouTube and just start responding to every comment?
Okay.
On Facebook, this is happening?
On YouTube.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
YouTube.
On YouTube.
Oh, are we live on YouTube right now?
Well, yeah, we're always live on YouTube.
Hold on, I'm going.
No, there's no current.
Hey, and there's
I mean, there's no
I'm not
current
sure
comments.
Why this video has so many dislikes and mean comments. The video isn't horrible. Thank you.
There you go.
That's all we strive
I mean, we
for
do
is-
have people watching. Matthew's over there on YouTube on the Indie Wrestling account watching us. So thank you, Matthew. I hope you're still hanging in there with us. I think I've seen your name. Oh shit! There's a bunch of new people. Holy crap! No holds barred. Oh no! We got some comments. We actually do got some YouTube comments going on right now. I got a new chat program, so we actually see all the comments. Let's see. Unleash Bailey. Oh no, I'm not reading that one. We're definitely on YouTube. Let's see. No holds barred is pretty lame. The Z sign Hulk does is horrible. Imagine if they tried to do that instead of the ear thing. Suburban Commando is way better. I agree, sir. Maybe the best movie that Hulk Hogan did.
I saw Suburban Commando once or twice when it came out. I have not seen it since it was on VHS. I would be curious to watch it again.
Mike, Garza's in the YouTube chat.
Of course he is. God, fucking Garza.
He's like, he saw us. So I got 2 YouTube chats up here. This is great. If anybody starts
Garza,
there.
come to the Facebook chat like a man, Garza.
Hey, hey, some people don't.
I can't respond to you there. You might as well be hiding in a void.
Well, we just revealed the void here. So I love when I start responding and then I say he saw us. Chat. Anyways.
Right, so Sorg.
Yes.
My WWE What If.
Well, I was going to talk about the skirmish a little bit more, but you want to do a what if first, or?
Yeah, we'll do a what if first.
Okay, let's do a what if, and then we're going to talk about the Friday night skirmish a little bit, and then we're going to get out of here because I need to take a business call that's been trying to call me during the podcast. So
boy.
People keep trying to book me during the podcast. Then I don't realize what state they're trying to book me in, and then I talk to them a week later when their show poster comes out, and I realize it's down the road, and we can actually do something about it. So this is literally something that happened in the last week. So. Anyways,
gotcha.
So don't try to book me on Tuesdays, guys. so the point is,
so I saw somewhere I forget where I saw it. It was a couple weeks ago. It was what if Sting was the third member of the NWO? And I saw that, because Sting was the other option.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that. I'm like, okay, I don't think that would change all that much.
Instead of Hogan.
So, yeah, instead of Hogan. So I figure let's have some fun with it. What if the third member of the NWO was Shawn Michaels?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Think about it.
That would change everything.
Bash 96. Shawn Michaels jumps.
And this is no bearing on the idea of like he was probably completely right in the middle of a contract or something like that, right?
No,
like,
no, I mean,
like we're throwing that out. We're just saying, what if this happened? What if whatever happened to make this happen and it happened,
Absolutely.
right? Maybe he had a falling out and broke his contract, walked away. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
So
It was Shawn Michaels in 96. He was literally capable of doing anything.
yes. I think that I don't think it would have had the same impact as Hogan.
Whoa. Well, I disagree on that.
Shawn was a big star in 96.
Because I think the biggest part of the Hogan thing was the fact that it was Hogan and it was his first real post Hulkamania heel turn, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like that was the shock, right? Mm-hmm. Versus, hey, here's another WWE guy, right? But I'm not saying that it wouldn't have a large effect, but I'm just saying I don't think it would have been quite as earth-shattering, but damn significant.
Yeah, because if it's Shawn, here's a list of things you don't get. D-Generation X.
No way. Yeah.
No, you don't get it.
That's what I'm saying. No way you get it. Yeah, I know. I'm with you. I'm saying no way in agreement.
You physically don't. There's no way you get it.
Yeah.
You don't get the Montreal Screwjob.
You don't do.
Which means Brett probably doesn't leave.
Yeah.
You may not get Mr. McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
Because Mr. McMahon was kind of born out of Brett being frustrated.
Yep.
Like,
well, he's pulling the thread.
I think I think there's a potential because you also don't get Tyson and Austin. You just don't get it. But I think there's a potential that if it's Shawn instead, there may not be a WWE. It's a large what if.
Mm-hmm.
But considering the things that turn WWE around, like the only thing you still have there is Stone Cold Steve Austin. But does he get built the same way without Shawn at the top of the card and letting him like?
I'm with you. Let me sidetrack for one moment because I was just pulling up a thing for the YouTube comments, and I just noticed that tonight's AEW Dark is a mere 22 minutes and 4 matches. So I got a short night of stuff to watch apparently. So Garza is chiming in. Garza? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's Garza. Let's see, and then somebody else has another discussion point that we may or may. Jack, I like your question, and we may hold that for next week to be quite honest. But I like your question. He has kind of a movie what if. With wrestling.
I like movie what if.
So if you venture over to the YouTube. Mike, like an adult, according to Garza, you can check out what that is.
I'll be surprised because I like to be.
All right, we'll hold on to that. But no, I wanted to pull up here Garza, and since apparently I'm losing my eyes. No, actually, I think I lowered that resolution. So no, I am. You know what? Maybe I am old. You know, a bunch of gray hairs doing this podcast. Garza says of the WrestlingRevolution.com.net. And contributor to Just Pro Wrestling News in the Future 50. I think I got all the plugs in there. I think WCW takes Shawn's smile quicker, but Bischoff had enough money for him to fake that smile. There you go. Wait, there's more.
Yeah,
that's true.
There's more. I think that WCW freedom also means Shawn may follow a worse lifestyle that ends tragically. Look at
very true.
Look at Scott Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. I mean, how much did that looseness of WCW contribute? I mean, geez, they had a drinking angle with him while he was dealing with his drinking problem.
Well, I mean, to be fair, WWE did the same thing with Hawk. Melody.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, and Jake Roberts.
So, I go to like the thing, and the only options I have is report and block, and I'm afraid I'm going to hit this by accident. I'm still getting used to this other chat. No, I think those are great.
And Matt in the Facebook chat room is saying that Triple H may not get elevated without Shawn.
Yeah. What? So, and this is all post This is all post clip
Austin just won King of the Ring.
when this happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So Austin's on his upswing. So Austin could still happen.
Well,
or does Austin
maybe.
not happen because we don't have a Mr. McMahon? Whoa. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Ooh, now you flattened that. I think The Rock still happens because he's damn undeniable, right?
Oh, I don't know if Rock happens.
Because you don't have Uber Stone Cold for him to play off of?
Sorg, I mean, you still have the Nation, but when Rock really got turned up was when he was in the corporation.
Oh, and if we don't have Mr. McMahon, you don't have
If
the
you don't
corporation.
have
He won the title in the corporation.
Wow.
Yeah, if you don't have a Mr. McMahon.
Wow.
I'm saying, like, that, it's such a wild thing to think about. Like,
WCW would still be alive.
Not necessarily.
No.
Not necessarily.
I don't think that's going to change. I don't think that's going to change. Also, with this, okay, here's the other kind of, more material question. We talked about the effect, and again, I still think that the Hogan has more effect, ripples through the industry than Shawn. Not that it's saying that Shawn would be a bad thing, but does WCW get to the heights that it did with Shawn versus Hulk?
I think it could. I think it could, especially because Shawn would have had a lot of heat toward Hogan at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, we saw their match in 2005. Imagine, and that was when Shawn was, basically all right. Like he was good.
Mm-hmm.
He was sober. He was, with the Lord and everything. Imagine Shawn versus Hogan when he's none of those things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It would have been nasty
Uh-huh.
in the best ways.
Wow.
And I mean, just imagine some of the matches we could have gotten too. We could have gotten Shawn versus Savage, like a legit one-on-one match.
Yeah. Oh, geez, that never happened, did it?
Nope. We could have gotten Shawn versus DDP.
That never even happened. Like weird squash match.
There's probably something somewhere. Like, I know there's a DVD that I actually own it. The match is, I want to get this right. It's Shawn and Ric Flair against Bret Hart and Randy Savage. It's fun. It's real good. It's on like a WWE unreleased DVD or something like that. But I don't think like there was never a high profile Shawn versus Savage.
No, and not anywhere near peak for either, right? So I mean, to be fair, like Macho is going to be post peak by the time Shawn's peak. Although not that much wasn't amazing in the late '90s. So I mean, his stuff with DDP was fantastic, right?
Okay. So there's the match is online on Daily Motion.
Oh, okay.
Randy Savage and Bret Hart versus Ric Flair and Shawn.
Awesome. Would you mind dropping that in the group for us, please?
Sure.
And or chat. Ideally the group. But
can you imagine Shawn Michaels and what the fuck? I can't remember the goddamn Dennis Rodman together.
Oh boy.
But see, here's the thing. All right, now look at it from WCW. Dennis Rodman was a huge Hogan fan.
Yeah, does Rodman
Dennis
happen?
Rodman join the NWO?
That's the thing. Hogan brings their mainstream status, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for that kind of thing. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I think they would have still gotten some people roped in, but I don't think it would have been as effective as Rodman and Jay Leno, right? So I know we can.
But you might get better references. Like
yeah.
you might get more mainstream stuff because Leno, while mainstream, not exactly hip.
Not hip, but it was a lot of eyeballs, right? So I feel like that. I think we're apples and oranging here a little.
If Hogan doesn't join the NWO, does Bischoff?
There's a lot of what ifs going on.
It's really kind of a cool thing to think about. Like, because if Bischoff doesn't join the NWO and he just stays on commentary, like that changes the entire trajectory of both companies.
We got so much from the chat room, guys, over on the YouTube. Wow, this is great. So Garza says, Austin still fused with Brett, though. That's where the real Stone Cold grew. Yeah, okay. So we at least get that. Okay. I think Rock, Austin, and Owen all feed.
But Austin feuded with Bret Hart because Shawn Michaels was otherwise occupied.
Okay. But anyways, he says he thinks that Rock, Austin, and Owen all feed on Bret.
But and I'll say this: Bret didn't get to the place he needed to be in the late '90s without Shawn.
Okay.
Because you don't see Bret Hart heel without Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
You don't see that.
He's the one that kind of pushed him that way.
The anti-American,
yeah.
throw everywhere else.
Yeah.
Like without Shawn Michaels, you don't see that. And
But
I
also,
don't know if anyone else could have pulled that out.
With Shawn, you could have still gone the harder edge with WCW that WWF was not doing yet. They could still put.
We could have gotten Shawn versus Ray in '96.
It could. Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
Oh my god. Or Shawn versus
but
Eddie.
I don't think you don't get an Attitude Era, but I think it looks different. Because I think you still, like, WCW goes its hip thing with Michaels, and I think it still does well. That forces WWF to Attitude and forces hand. Garza goes on, without Hogan and NWO, there is a chance that a lot of guys don't jump to WCW, and with HBK being smaller, we may not see Jericho, Benoit, Eddie get as disrespected, pushing them to jump. So they could have more room to grow those guys. Alongside of Shawn Michaels, and they become the workhorse top end of the promotion, perhaps. Could you imagine any of those three guys, Jericho, Benoit, Eddie, in late '90s peak for these guys, feuding with Shawn Michaels, NWO?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh God, or Shawn versus Booker T.
Oh jeez, yeah.
Or Shawn and Nash versus Harlem Heat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, that would be that'd be really.
You continue that dynamic between the Diesel Shawn thing, right? And that, which was, a moneymaker at WWE. So why not WCW?
Without Hogan in there, you might not get a lot of like the Hogan buddies joining the NWO. So it might be.
Oh, you don't have Booty Man. You don't have.
You don't have Disciple. You don't have Ted DiBiase. You don't have Vincent. Like you could get with Shawn being in there as the head. You might get a whole different.
He starts pulling the workhorses out of WWE that aren't getting respected.
Or even not workhorses. Like you probably still get Buff Bagwell.
Oh well,
I would assume because you get charismatic guys.
Buff Bagwell is inevitable.
Sometimes you got to make sacrifices.
Yes.
Even if it's Buff Bagwell,
Maybe Scotty Riggs gets dealt a better hand, and keeps an eye. WCW was Jack's asking. WCW was veering towards PG content towards the very end, right? Diminishing the violence a tad. I don't know where I heard that. Yes, that's true. So this is probably a separate thing, and who knows where this goes. But actually, yeah, while WWE was going hard on the Attitude standards and practices, since WCW became a big thing. Standards and practices with TNT, Time Warner, AOL, we go under the new management, I think was part of it maybe too, started cracking down on the content. So which gave them a less of an edge to compete, because now basically it was the opposite of what began, right? Because WWF was doing pretty much, geared towards kids, right? And then NWO or WCW, NWO became cool and ate their lunch, so they had to go super hard edge on their thing because USA let them. And then TNT said, "We don't want you to go that deep, with that bad with it, or we want you to tone this down because we want the kids to watch, and we don't want to give TNT a bad name." Like that's a higher up problem. I still say WCW dying and going away was not them shooting themselves in the foot. It was all about the upper management.
They did shoot themselves.
They shoot sure storylines.
Now here's another thing, and this is
Mike.
What if Shawn joins the NWO?
We got a mad Mike drop, by the way. You got to do it. But Mike, you got to do adjustment there. Sorry, you're just going away. Thank you.
What if Shawn joins?
Mm-hmm.
And then they just get buried by Hogan, Savage.
Oh, and then nothing happens. And they're just, who gives an F about WCW? Possible. And WWF continues their kiddie bullshit. And pro wrestling, but pro wrestling dies a slow death in the late 90s, and we're all watching sweaty dick punching.
Sorg, here's the thing. What if that happens and the NWO gets buried because it doesn't have Hogan creatively behind it?
It becomes a Dungeon of Doom.
And then instead of the Radicals going to WWE in 99, it's the NWO.
Come back after their contracts expire.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah, I could see that. Goldberg's the only one I feel still grows independently on who is.
Yeah, as long as Hugh Morris is there to start that.
And he may actually grow to easily overshadow Austin in WCW without all that other stuff, right? So
I don't know, but Goldberg got massively over when he beat a heel Hulk Hogan.
Garza's saying something. I don't know. Maybe he's never heard me say sweaty dick punching on the show. But that is our long-standing term for MMA when we were attempting to cover UFC in the late 2000s on this show.
Yes.
So
it still applies.
It still applies, and now I film sweaty dick punching at least once or twice a month now. So I mean, we've really gone full circle. So there's that. Wow. So I don't even want to talk about the skirmish right now. I mean, there's some updates on it. I don't want to get into it because I feel like we'll be here forever if we do it. But the updates are, and the update, if you didn't listen to last night, there's a very heated conversation on the worthwhileness of this Friday night skirmish war thing that Mad Mike and Matt went at about it. We won't get into that part. Please, let's not. I just want to talk about the updates. So for those that don't know what's happening, Rampage is going to be live. They're actually going to have a live Rampage on Friday and then a live Dynamite on Saturday. Yes, your Wednesday nights are apparently free to watch other wrestling. I
wonder if it's going to be live or live to tape.
I think Rampage, to my knowledge, has been live.
No, Rampage has been taped past couple of weeks.
They've been taped. But you're talking live to tape for it's taped that night and then it shows later in the night.
Yeah,
that's live to tape.
To
my awareness, everything has been live with Rampage, and I don't know of any reason or intention that they would not do that unless there is a weird time zone thing. But being it's 10 o'clock, I don't see why. I can't remember where they're at this week. I think Miami. Is that right?
They're in Miami.
They're in Miami.
Yeah, but you wouldn't start a show at 10 p.m.
Yeah, you start with dark at 8 o'clock. Okay. So
that's what I'm saying.
For those that have not attended a live Rampage, not Rampage, taped after Dynamite, they start at 8 o'clock, if not a little bit earlier, with dark matches, with AEW dark matches. So they're probably gonna.
So they just do like 2 hours of dark taping.
Well, that's probably why there's only 20 minutes of dark tonight, because they do. Well, they do about an hour and a half of dark tapings. And then, and I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe it's Elevation and Dark's next night, but since Dynamite's after, I don't know. They'll do whatever YouTube tapings they're doing, and it's pretty well spread out. And then there's like something like a good 20 minutes before Rampage comes on for you to go get a drink and shit, right? But then they'll start like, hey, so maybe Tony will come out or Eddie Kingston will come out and hype up the crowd for a little bit, and they'll bring out the announcers, and then they'll start Rampage hot, right? So that's how that goes. So the updates. So for those who don't know, so Rampage is happening at 10 o'clock live. Smackdown is going to FS1 and I did not watch Smackdown. I've only heard secondhand the announcements, but they're going to have some kind of super Smackdown. They are extending an extra half hour since they're on FS1. They're not on Fox, so that you don't have to worry about the 10 o'clock news. So they have an extra half hour, which now bleeds into Rampage with some, including Tony Khan, with some much hubris and foot stomping, I'm sure, when he wrote the tweet. Again, I'm a fan of Tony Khan, but and his adorable super fandom, declared a Friday night war of sorts for this half hour that's happening, and I do believe Brock Lesnar is announced for that last half hour, and I do believe there's an announcement that the half hour of SmackDown is going to be commercial free. So,
and it's Becky versus Sasha.
And Becky versus Sasha is happening. Okay. To add on to that, apparently AEW has announced today that they are going to do what is this called again? It's called a buy-in. It's called a free buy-in.
It's their normal.
It's a pre-show.
They usually do it for pay-per-view pre-shows.
Right. So they're going to do that, and I'm going to try to pull up the AEW account so I can get everything precisely on there as it's been announced.
I can tell you exactly what.
So they're going to do that. Pull that mic up a little bit, Mike, so we can get your announcement of the announcements. We are going to get, because obviously AEW is counter-programming me. They got our buddy Leigh Moriarty against Bobby Fish.
Yes.
We've already tweeted to him to please beat him up like he owes somebody he knows money. We'll just leave that at that. And then we have Bryan Danielson. Oh my God, that's for real. Bryan Danielson versus, wait for it, Minoru Suzuki.
It's 100% real.
Yep.
I'm looking at the graphic now. First of all, there's that, and also I'm seeing a 4-major promotion graphic that has Bryan Danielson, Minoru Suzuki, just alongside Leigh Moriarty, and some other guy. But anyways, holy shit!
I'm excited for this. I will say one thing though.
Mm-hmm.
That better have another women's match
on the buy-in.
Yeah,
it's a half hour.
It's an hour. It starts at 9.
Oh, it starts at 9? Oh,
yeah,
shit. Yeah, they'll probably have a women's match. Well, okay. Will you be sad of no women's match? Should we get... Wait, let me finish. If we get a half an hour of Bryan Danielson versus Suzuki.
Still yes.
Still yes?
Still yes.
Because if we get a half hour of those two, you're going to get a 4-minute women's match.
Sorg, they're introducing a second women's title.
That's true.
They need to start having 2 women's matches on each show.
Okay.
If it's 2
by the way,
hours,
an update. Bryan Daniels says, in 2004, I wrestled Minoru Suzuki one-on-one, and he beat the shit out of me. Show me what violence and sadism inside a wrestling ring looks like. Since then, I've learned a thing or two about violence myself. And sadism. Am I saying that right? Sadism?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, you are.
Otherwise, it's sadism, and that means something else. Excited to show Mr. Suzuki what I've learned. Fuck, I love this place.
They're going to beat the fucking shit out of each other.
I love this fucking promotion. Oh, fuck.
I will say, it makes watching Danielson matches way more scary.
I'm sorry, Mike. Your mic's going away. It's not even popping you up on Zoom right now.
God damn it.
Yeah, I know. We'll work on this.
It makes watching his matches way more scary.
Yeah, so
I'm worried for him.
So there was an interesting tweet, and yes, and I have concerns. But there was an interesting tweet. I think Sean Sapp maybe tweeted it, or Bergman, or Hossman, one of those guys that I follow. I guess Danielson recently admitted that he can't trust himself with his own health when it comes to wrestling.
I know, and that's why I'm concerned.
Yeah, no, that is a concern. But that is also
And by the way, Sorg, if you want a shortcut, just call him Brian because it works both ways.
Yeah, I know, but I'm used to the first name's been Daniel. I don't know.
His first name is Brian.
American Dragon. American Dragon. What was his lucha name?
He's the American Dragon.
I don't.
It was maybe it was just American Dragon when he was doing the lucha thing when he had his dark match. But all right, we got to wrap the show because Ronnie's looking sleepy.
No, I'm good. I'm just relaxing.
You're just chill, live, laugh, love.
Ronnie, we're still doing a show. You guys.
Ronnie's in live, laugh, love mode over there.
Live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, love, baby.
Oh boy, guys, what'd you learn from wrestling this week? Chat rooms, all of you chat rooms, let us know what you learned from wrestling this week.
Garza learned how to hide from us.
Yeah. Well, we found him, so I'm gonna say I learned that the Priory Church facility on the north side of Pittsburgh is apparently not cursed to professional wrestling. That was only Black Craft Wrestling. Again, I did attend the Enjoy Wrestling show, and that was as an attendee, that is the most fun I've had at an indie show for a while. So Props to that crew over there. Talked to a lot of friends that worked on that show, including Rich Bocchini of MLW and Warrior, about how the place was run and everything, and everybody seemed really happy. It was really cool. Katie was with me. We had a lot of fun there. It's a damn awesome venue, that church. There's a thunderstorm happening in Pittsburgh on Friday night, and there's these giant stained glass windows and a dome at the top that's stained glass as well. And it was during the Facade and Danny were teaming up, Neon Blondes against I think Evers and damn it, he was on Rise too, and I can't remember his name right now. But Mick something. I apologize. You guys were great. But as the match was happening, the lightning was happening outside through the stained glasses, and it looked like a level from like Soul Calibur. It was really fun. So, but no,
That's
really
awesome.
Really cool. I've learned that between that, like Pittsburgh wrestling is about to freaking explode, because not only the guys that we're working with do some really awesome stuff, the people coming in like Enjoy, like this Wrestle Pit and Palais Pro out of Texas is running a show here with Wrestle Pit. And if you look at that card, it's got Shane Taylor and his whole crew from Ring of Honor. It's got Danhausen, Dombrowski, and we haven't talked about Dombrowski. Dombrowski and Veda are doing commentary. It looks ridiculous. It's called Blast Off. It's happening in November. I'm not going to be here, but we're going to in full disclosure, we actually signed on to help with the production for it, and that's going to be on Fight and I think and stuff like that. So, but it like really cool high-end stuff is happening here, and I don't know, it's because your Lady Frost, your Lee Moriarty's, and everybody else that's shown up on Dark and all the other shows. I feel like I don't think you have Palais Pro, and Fest Wrestling involved with these two promotions, making something happen in Pittsburgh and working with the locals. If there wasn't this big, great talent base and fandom here. And Enjoy, I feel catered to an audience that almost nobody in the area is. Like, the people that show up and Enjoy are not showing up at RWA, and that's not a detriment. There are different wrestling fans. You're not promoting to the same pool of wrestling fans, even in a city like this, and in a smaller city like this, to be honest. And I think that was illustrated big time between seeing Enjoy and Rise this weekend and what happens at RWA and these other promotions. Like I saw barely any crossover on Friday night. Oh, between Friday and Saturday, yes, but between Friday and other shows that I go to in the area, don't see it. Don't see it in mass, at least. So it was really, really cool. So also, I learned Joe Dombrowski also on MLW. He debuts with them tomorrow for Alpha on YouTube for free. Go watch it. Go watch it. And Beastman's on there. Well, I don't know if he's on tomorrow, but he's going to be popping up. So, and we didn't even talk about Fightland. That was on Vice last week. So I'm probably the only one to watch that. So I'm sorry. I had a lot of stuff. It was an eventful weekend for me. So,
you learned a lot.
Yes, I learned a lot. Ronnie Starks, what'd you learn from wrestling?
I learned that wrestling is still fun, and it's growing, and it's going to be fucking amazing. And it's a good time to be a wrestling fan. Absolutely.
It's a good time to be a wrestling fan in Pittsburgh. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff. So much good stuff coming up here in the next couple of months. Mad Mike, what'd you learn?
I learned that...
Mic up.
As the camera's staring at me.
I learned that hopefully WWE gives us what we want.
Mm-hmm.
And crowns Xavier Woods.
King Xavier Woods, and I hope he goes full King for it. I hope he goes King Booker style for this.
I'm worried because he'd have to defeat Finn Balor. I'm worried.
But that could be a hot match if that's the final.
It'll be a great match. And if it's Jinder versus Balor, we know who's winning. If it's Woods versus Balor, literally either of them can win.
So, I got a few comments from the YouTube. First, Garza's pointing out that Joe and Cueto work together now. So
I know. I know. Sorg, the first thing I said.
Yes.
Was we are one step closer to getting Dario Cueto on this show.
Yes. Also, Jack, it's gonna be a whole another podcast to explain why does Vince Russo get as much heat as he does for ruining WCW. So we can have that conversation, but please bring that up in the future.
Champion, bro.
Yeah. I mean, he was a point of that, but not the full on thing. There was definitely some bad stuff there. Garza says. I don't know if that's learned or so Garza says, I learned ROH saw all the kids playing in the park and their mom finally let the Briscoes come out to play. I'm also trying to learn how much is a flight to PA to address Mike via official sword cam.
Why don't you just
Mike's not even in PA.
Yo, you want me to send you a Zoom link? So wait, you want to join me in the studio to talk to Mad Mike? Is that what's happening? So is that? Am I getting that right?
Just get on Zoom when
Dude, I'll say I'm sending him a Zoom link next week, whether he wants it or not.
Yeah, just get on Zoom when I have a working headset.
So, yeah, there's that too. We're gonna fix Mike's headset. Damn it. And I don't see any learns in the chat room over on Facebook. But I think we're good to go here, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Doc.
By the way,
yes.
The Penguins are first in the NHL.
The Penguins are first in NHL.
Yes.
NHL.
We have the best record in the NHL. Let's end the season right now.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Mad Mike 483 on the tweets. We're gonna try to fix that headset by next week.
Yeah.
Get the duct tape out.
Yeah, I need to get some duct tape.
Apparently, bad. We did. Just keep pulling your finger up there, like you have
it's like breaking news.
It's just like I did just watch some James Bond where they had that stuff going on. So, So yes, exactly.
Yep. I'm being told. Garza is a coward for not being in Facebook chat. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Okay, bringing the heat, brother. Thank you, Ronnie Starks, for joining us as well. Enjoy your trip, and your live tweet will be happening down in Universal Studios for the Halloween stuffs.
Live tweets, Snapchats, all the good stuff.
Snapchat, who does that anymore?
A lot of people.
Ronnie Starks for the kids. Thank you, Doc Daugherty, again. If you're in the area or if you want to check out later on streaming sometime next week, RWA's Bloody Harvest, go check out rwalive.com for all of the latest information on that or their Facebook page. And I will be in Chicago for Warrior Wrestling Sweet 16. A lot of friends of the show will be there, including Pretty Proper, Beastman, who's teaming up with Warhorse. Can't wait to see that. I think the good guys are going to be there, actually, I hope that's not a surprise. But I think they were they announced some of those matches. Oh, God. How many NDAs did I break this episode? This is why nobody tells me anything in wrestling. This is why I don't want to know anything in wrestling.
Fix it in post.
Fix it in post. That's right. We're live, baby. And I'll be in New York for Mad Mike things. Look for that stuff on Twitter and Instagram. That's Sorgatron if you want to follow my adventures as well. And then we got MMA and boxing the next 2 weeks. I know, but I don't even go to a wrestling show for a while after this. I'm going to enjoy the hell out of this weekend being around the wrestles then, because I don't think we got another wrestling show until the second week of November at this point, right? So what am I gonna do? Anyways, rest. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. Oh, Top Rope Tabletop is now the 22nd. So mark your calendars for that to join us on the live stream at indiewrestling.us. That's all I got. Thank you guys every time. Thank you guys. Wow. I got to get out of here. My words aren't working. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out.
Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.